Hi everyone, today we're going to be doing an ocean sunset painting with a sailing boat. It's actually not too difficult to do because we're going to break it down into sections and go through it step by step. I've also put a link in the description for a free traceable of the sailing boat just in case you didn't want to draw it freehand. So let's get started. I've started with cobalt blue, but you could use another blue if you prefer. It's a slightly darker at the top of the canvas, and then I'm adding more white as I go to make it lighter as I move downwards. Now I'm taking a pale violet. To that violet I'm making it slightly more blue to begin with by adding a little cobalt blue. Next I'm coming in with just the pale violet and blending that in with the cobalt blue. Next I've added a little bit of cadmium red to the pale violet, and I'm just blending that section in next. Now I might add some more red to this area. I'm just blending that in. I think I'll add more violet here too, and maybe some light clouds. Some more red to this area just to make that a little bit more intense. Okay, so I think I'll add more red with a little medium yellow. This is where our sun's going to be. So we can add some medium yellow as well. For the ocean, I'm using pale violet again for the base colour. Maybe adding a little red in this area, so it's slightly more pink. And then I'll add some cobalt blue when I get near to the bottom of the canvas, just to make it a little bit darker. For the waves I'm starting with cobalt blue, and I've added a little bit of cadmium red just to darken it slightly so it isn't quite as a bright blue. I'm using an angled brush, but you could also use a chisel blender or even any small flat brush would give you a similar effect. So think about what direction your water is and the sort of the points of the wave as we're blending it in. We can soften that as well with our brush. At this stage I just want to get the general impression of water because I'm going to come back and add more details and highlights later. I'm using a pastel pencil to sketch out the sailing boat. Sometimes with a soft lead pencil I find it affects the colours of the acrylics, so I do tend to use a pastel pencil when I'm sketching. I've used cobalt blue with a tiny bit of cadmium red again, just to block out the shape of the sailing boat. Now I think it's time to add a little colour to the water. I've mixed red, white with a tiny bit of medium yellow. The paint is quite thin and I'm just putting that on top to give that sunset glow to the water. The waves will get bigger as they come into the foreground and just flatter and slightly indicate the colour as you're going back into the distance. Now we can add some highlights to our waves. We'll put those right on the top where the light hits the top of the wave. So you've got the darker area underneath and then the light highlight on the top. We'll add the sun and the reflections on the water. I'm coming in first with medium yellow. And then I've mixed white and medium yellow together to give the bright area where the sun is coming through the clouds and hitting the water, just so you've got that contrast. I'll put some highlights on the sailing boat. It's really just a lighter blue. I've added a little bit of white to the original colour mix. I hope you enjoyed today's painting. Here are some other videos that you might like to watch next. See you next time.